Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios, brought to you by official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Me and Molson's Zia Missing, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. Coming soon, Missing 2 by Me and Molson's Zia, double the suspense, double the fun. Check it out on Amazon. Also brought to you by A Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner, based on the life of David, including theories, quiz of pains, and King David Psalms. A Sweet Psalmist can be found on Amazon, keyword Sweet Psalmist Serena Wagner, and brought to you by a Sensei Swing. Eric Diamond was released to release All of Me, featuring I've Gotten a Heartache, Bring Me Sunshine and More. EricDimemusic.com. Follow on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and more. We're here with a terrific lady who's the Chief Creative Officer of a wonderful mission for authors based in New York. She's worked as an English teacher, built own freelance writing and editing business, ghostwriter for over 150 books, worked along more with 1,100 authors, and also her company's been ranked 286 on Inc.'s 5,000 best in the business list, and helps entrepreneurs, thought leaders transform ideas into compelling narratives. And basically, it's authors on a mission. And what's the mission? Live, ladies and gentlemen, at Plus Studios, somewhere in beautiful New York, New Jersey area. The amazing Chief Creative Officer of Authors on a Mission, and she's on a mission. The multi-talented Danielle Hutchinson. Danielle, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
And thanks for having me, Mike. I love that introduction. You just made me giggle over here. You're just so enthusiastic. And you're right. I mean, we are on a mission. I mean, everybody is, right? I love it.
Well, you got to have a mission too. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here, right? So you got to be passionate about what you do. So you're a Chief Creative Officer of Authors on Mission based in New York. You worked as an English teacher, built your own freelance writing and editing business. You're a ghostwriter of over 150 books, worked with more than 1,100 authors. And your Authors on Missions ranked 286 in Inc.'s 5,000 best in business list. You help entrepreneurs, thought leaders transform ideas into compelling narratives, resonating with the readers globally. And we'll be talking more about that. Before getting on it, Danielle, tell us how I first got started.
I'm sorry.
No, tell us how I first got started. Way
Oh,
back,
oh, yeah.
machine, way back.
Well, so as you mentioned, I was an English teacher for a very long time. It's funny because, every little girl has a dream of what they want to do in life, right?
Oh,
For
yeah.
me, I have many different dreams. I've always wanted to be a writer, always loved reading, all of that kind of thing. But you know what? At some point in life, I was just kind of set to believe, you know what? That's not realistic. Pick something that's, going to be stable, that could be fun, that you don't have to worry. Teaching fell into my lap, and you know what? I loved it for many years. I studied it in college. There go the student loans, but I did it for many years, and then I figured, what else is out there? And that's when I decided, let me just check out some freelancing websites, and I guess you could say it was like a firework. Like things just blew up insanely on that website because I was just on it all the time, really building my profile. And as you mentioned, I helped, so many different authors write their books or edit their books or whatever the project might be. Um, and then, about a year or so into that, I began ghostwriting, or sorry, we call it angel writing here at Authors on Mission, just a
Okay.
little quirky term. So I started doing that for them and, wrote a couple books, edited a few of their books, and then lo and behold, I was, so honored to become their chief creative officer. And, ever since then, I'm hosting podcasts, I'm talking to authors all the time. I'm, running their YouTube channel, writing blogs, and I absolutely love it. I mean, Mike, you probably know the amount of amazing people we get to meet every single day on talking on podcasts. It's, just a true blessing and an honor. So, that's kind of where I'm at, and I love it so much. It's been a really fun journey for sure.
You talked about your moment where everything just hit you like a light bulb with the freelance and everything. You talked about wanting to be a writer around the time you're like growing everything. And I've heard this true that by time around fifth grade, maybe fourth or sixth, you kind of just know what you do, the deep inside what you want to do. Was that moment around fifth grade? Do you want to be a writer, or as a teacher or something else?
Well, no, yeah, there was definitely the writing thing that I, always loved doing, like writing in journals, that sort of thing. I thought it'd be really cool. But it was more like, I was grounded in realism, just being, brought up in this certain way, made me think like, being a teacher is more safe. It's more stable, which is why I ended up doing that. But so it's been my breakthrough moment coming into this sort of industry, because, again, the experience has been wonderful, but I'm also making like 4 times the amount I would if I was, just a teacher, right? So the amount of growth I've had, and I've started my own business from it, and it just expanded so much. So it's something I would highly recommend to anybody doing is, if you have something you're inspired to do, go for it. And you never know where it could end up.
And who are some of your favorite authors and writers and favorite books growing up?
Oh boy, I mean, growing up, there was a bunch of different ones. But I guess I'd speak of more of like the more adult ones. I mean, we could always talk about like, good old Judy Blume and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, that's
But
very common. Judy Blume and all that. Very common.
yeah, yeah. I mean, nowadays I'm more of like I love Stephen King. We've got, more romancy ones like Nora Roberts. I'm kind of all over the place. And I guess that goes to show because I've written books in all different genres. So I love reading books in all different genres as well. So,
hmm and what is your favorite genre, by the way?
oh, well, if I get to read a book, which, honestly, if it's ever for leisure, it's not as often these days with the amount of busy schedules I have in my life, which I'm sure you could relate to also. But if I get to pick one, it would definitely be more of dystopian kind of novels, like, you know, um, you got like some George Orwell or The Road, that kind of thing. Even The Hunger Games is my all-time favorite, like young adult novel. But again, that's what I love reading. When I'm writing, it's really cool because I can kind of mesh into any of those fields also. So I love, writing romance. I love writing business books.
Oh,
Whoever it is, the
nice.
client comes. So yeah, yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Okay,
So.
you remember about George Orwell? I'm reading that in 1984. It was the book 1984, and that was like really similar. But what really struck me was Animal Farm, and I had to read that freshman year of high school, and it was like the theme was people abuse power, power abuses people, and it turned into a cartoon. I think that's when it really stood out. It's like right after 1984, we read Animal Farm, so long dystopian. It's like that just made it stand out for me.
Yeah, yeah, no, I definitely remember reading that in school too, and it was one of my favorites because it's just something that was a little bit more unique, at least for me back then, even though it's one of the more classic ones. And it's just always fun to play around with worlds, right? To figure out like what things could be like if something was just a little bit different. And that's kind of the spin I like to see on those kind of books,
Mm-hmm.
those
And
alternate universes.
right. And plus now you help with romance and other genres and memoirs, biographies, dystopians. You also help out with business transformation, leadership, contemporary, children's, and more with Danielle Hutchinson, authors on Mission and more on Mission in a minute. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, time to give a official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon, paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is illusion and those who love you to first go missing. It's available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews. An Evil Love and endorsed by Howard Celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and Mayon. So grab your copy today for It Goes Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Coming soon, Missing 2 by me and Molson-Zia, double the expense, double the fun. Check it out on Amazon. Also, the Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by A Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner, based on the life of King David, including 30 exquisite paintings in King David Psalms. A Sweet Psalmist gives a new perspective of the times growing up as David and his perspectives through the Psalms he wrote, his times as shepherd, where it started, and complicate your turbulent relationship with King Saul. Story of love, betrayal, repentance, hope, and more. Check out The Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner on Amazon. Keyword, Sweet Psalmist, Serena Wagner. Also brought to you by Sensei Swaying Eric Diamond, with the latest release, All of Me, featuring the title track, I've Got a Heartache, Bring Me Sunshine, Strike a Match, and more. Eric's multi-award winning art, inducted numerous Hall of Fames, album, Entertainer of the Year, and releasing a new CD soon. Check out the amazing Eric Diamond at ericdiamondmusic.com. Also on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and more. Check it out today. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show, MikeWagnerShow.com, 40 podcast platforms, heard in 100 countries. Take us with you on any mobile device. Also, follow us on Facebook, Spotify, Instagram, YouTube, iHeartRadio, and more. For great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com. Check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. T-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags, hoodies, makes great gifts 24/7. Go to Amazon.com. Check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/me and Molson Zia for great books like Missing, Once, and Wrinkles. Amazon.com, me and Molson Zia. Check it out today and support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. We're here with the amazing Chief Creative Officer of Authors on a Mission based in New York, New Jersey area, Danielle Hutchinson here on the Mike Wagner Show. And basically, you creating on a mission. So tell us once again, what was that first moment that got you on a mission for authors, which is Authors on a Mission?
Yeah, well, pretty much I grew up in a normal, typical day job teaching for many years, which I very much enjoyed. And then after that, I kind of just, transformed doing freelance writing, ghost writing, editing, all that sort of thing. But recently I got to, become really involved with Authors on a Mission, which, what we do is really something incredible because, Mike, if you can only imagine having a busy life all the time but you have a dream and you want to write your book, right? So that's what we do here at Authors on Mission is we, help other people get their books out there into the world. So now I get to do that and I absolutely love it. It's so much fun every day.
Mm-hmm. And of course, you also help entrepreneurs, thought leaders transform and everything. And you do a lot of things like business transformation, leadership development, contemporary and historical fiction as well. So, maybe just go through process. How does one get in and everything like that? So basically, you're basically just helping out the business leaders out there. And, how do you go about it?
Yeah, it's been really cool. I've had a lot of, very successful, impressive people reach out to me. Here at Authors on Mission, we help everybody from, politicians to CEOs to, even whistleblowers who come to us and they, just have these incredible stories. It's a lot of fun. So pretty much if you're interested, you can head to authorsonmission.com. We set you up with a consultation and we can figure out exactly what you're looking for. Sometimes you already have a book written and you're just looking for editing help or marketing help. But with me, you can start from the very beginning. You might not even know what you want to write about, but that's where our angel writing team comes in. And I mentioned to you before, Mike, we call ourselves the angel writers or ghost writers. It's just a funny word.
I forgot to ask you that. Why the angel writers instead of ghost writing? It's like, I forgot to ask you that earlier. It's like,
yeah.
These angels are tapping on me. It's like, come on, say angels. What is angel?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a play on words. I mean, would you rather have a ghost over your shoulder or an angel, right? It's just a
That makes
little
sense.
unique thing. Yeah. And also because I do think we stand out more than other ghostwriters. I mean, I've worked on freelance platforms before, like I mentioned, but a lot of times if you're just going under that, you don't know who you're going to end up with working for you. It might be somebody who is, not that great with English or somebody who is just doing this willy-nilly, doesn't care about your project. But, here it's my whole life. Like I love working with you. So I really commit to whatever it is your idea is, and that's what makes us the angels, I guess, over the ghosts.
Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, please, you first.
No, I was going to ask you something too. You talk to people who don't have a grasp of English. Do you guys also do translation services or anything like that also?
Yeah, we do offer our books in other languages. So, for example, if you write your book, there is a service where you can have it in other languages as well. That's not quite my department, but I do know we offer and at least like Spanish and a few others. So definitely something to check out because we do offer that. Um, but yeah, I mean, you mentioned before also kind of about the process. So, once you do get involved with us, what it looks like is, you sit down and you pretty much have as much control as you'd like to have in writing your book. Maybe you want to be really hands-on with it and have say over every word, every sentence. I've sat on video calls with my clients and we go over things, sentence by sentence, it's really making it exactly what they're hoping to be in their book. But then other times, some people, they just say, you know what, I don't have time. I just want a book with my name on it and with my ideas. And so, they give me literally like a bullet point list of, the outline. They're sending me voice recordings so I can kind of match their tone and the words they like to use a lot. And I go from there, and it's very, little time on their hands. So it kind of is very adaptive to whatever somebody's life looks like and whatever it takes for them to get their ideas on the page, pretty much.
And you
Um,
also work with children's books as well, too, school content, educational, and memoirs and biographies. Those are really interesting.
Yeah, well, for Authors on Mission were mainly nonfiction books, just to clarify. But on my private end, when I do my freelancing, that would be like I've done a lot of children's books, poetry, memoirs, all that sort of thing too. But yeah, I mean that's what's really cool is that I get to be versatile and do whatever project comes to me. I haven't ever had a project where I was like, oh, like this stinks because it's to me, I get to learn about it. Even if it's a complex topic, these days I do my research, I figure out, what it is my client's trying to say, and, I get to learn more from it.
And I think
So.
that's a really good point as well, too. And plus, your favorite romance and other genres as well. So it's like you can't afford to overlook that.
Yeah, no, not at all. I mean, like it's always fun to when I get those clients who are just on board with me. I'm working with this one woman. She actually lives in Hawaii, which I'm so jealous about. But she and I've been working on romance books together. Yeah, I know, right? So it's sometimes you get those clients who you mesh with and you both have the same ideas, and it's really fun because then we're just like joking back and forth about what this certain character should do. So it's a relationship too, which I guess makes us different than the typical ghostwriters that we're your friend, we're by your side.
Okay. And what's been the most common that you often get? What's like the number one for you? Like, the hottest you get, people get from you. It's like, what's the most common? What's the hottest that you most often get? Or in
Most
demand, I
of the
should
time,
say, in demand.
yeah, like most times, I mean, these days are either self-help books or like business leadership books. There's a lot of entrepreneurs out there who just want to share their experiences and their expertise, and it goes both ways because they could also promote their brand by doing so as well. So, what I do is I kind of take their theories, their lessons, we turn it into a book that's very accessible to any audience and also kind of points them in the direction of whatever service they're offering too. It's a pretty big thing these days.
Okay. And how about, podcast hosts, podcast authors, and anybody with a podcast, especially like yours?
Oh yeah, definitely. And that's the bonus of coming with us because if we help you write your book, you can also pop onto my show. You can talk a little bit about your book, and I'm sure you've had a lot of authors on your show as well, Mike. It's really cool to hear people's writing process and talk about, that sort of thing too, because everybody has their own methodology for writing, which is really cool. So.
And you also had written over 150 books, worked more than 1,100 authors. How about some books have you written, if any?
Oh, I wish. I'm that one girl, she's written and helped all these other people, but my own book is it's on the way still. I haven't quite made that a thing yet. One day I definitely will because I have a lot of experiences that have come from this experience of building my own business with the writing. So one of these days there's going to be something out there teaching others to kind of follow in these kind of footsteps, or maybe even my own line of romance books, something like that. We'll see. But
Oh, that'd be a great idea. And of course, how does she get the podcast for Authors on Mission? And what's more about that? We'll find out in a minute with Danielle Hutchinson of Authors on Mission. You listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by SoundCloud Studios, brought to you by official sponsor of The Mike Wagner Show, international warring author, Me Emotions You're Missing, available on Amazon. Also, Bride Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner, based on the life of David and 30 exquisite paintings, King David Psalms, Amazon.com, keyword Sweet Psalmist Serena Wagner and the Sensei Swaying Eric Diamond with All of Me, now on ericdiamondmusic.com, Facebook, Spotify, YouTube, and more. We'll be back with the multi-talented Danielle Hutchinson of Authors on Mission after this timeout. We're back with Danielle Hutchinson of Authors on Mission here on the Mike Wagner Show. Let's talk more about that podcast. And again, how'd you first get that started as well, too? We'd love to hear more about it.
Yeah, well, so I joined Authors on Mission just doing ghostwriting and editing, and I was fortunate enough where, the other people in my company decided, what, we should have a podcast. We should allow our authors a chance to share their ideas and their books. And so I was just selected to help host it, and it's been a real, journey with it. I don't know if you remember when you first got started, Mike, but there's this element of how on earth do you host a podcast?
or,
So
or,
yeah,
or don't get nervous without, getting a keyboard sweaty, spilling coffee, or, cutting
oh
off the phones and like, God, all
Oh,
that.
I'm
So
not gonna lie. I was recording earlier today and I was taking a sip of my water bottle and it just went right down my whole
here,
shirt
I'll
here.
show
And
you the
it's really
proper way.
right. That's how you do it. But the funny thing is it was like just water, so I don't think the guests even noticed because they were still talking. So I just kept sitting here with my hands in a puddle. And I don't think they realized it. We'll see if that's on camera or not. But yeah, no, I mean it's a whole experience learning how to host a podcast, right? And what I've learned at least is to research the person that you're talking with in advance. So people are always kind of like, wait, you read my book? I'm like, well, yeah, we're here talking about it, so I'm gonna at least like flip through it and figure out little things about it. So it's always cool to, get immersed in whatever it is that they are very interested in. I think it's really fun.
Mhm. It sounds like you have an interesting podcast as well, too. Now, do you reach out to the guests or do guests try to reach out to you?
It's both. It goes both ways. So, people on Podmatch sometimes join, or other times we have just other authors who find the show, they reach out, or also the power of connections. People will come on, they'll invite their friends and so on and so forth. So it's really cool too.
And certainly does as well, too. And where can we find Authors on Mission podcast, Authors on Mission, and more works, Danielle?
Yeah, please head to authorsonmission.com where you can, book that consultation, find out how we can help you. Whatever stage you are in your writing process, we can, offer guidance, be it from scratch idea to you have something, you need some editing, you already have a book out there, you just need some marketing help, whatever it is, we have packages available. And, check out my podcast. We're on Spotify, we're on Apple Music. We're on, of course, Facebook and Instagram as well. So you can check that out. Authors on Mission across the board. So
And what's your
find
website
find us
for it?
authorsonmission.com.
All right. We'll certainly check that out as well. Check out the podcast and more. We're here at the multi-talented Danielle Hutchinson of Authors on Mission here on the Mike Wagner Show. Danielle, just a few more things. What else can we expect in 2025 and beyond?
Oh, you can expect more and more books popping up anywhere. We have so many clients coming to us all the time. I have privately and on Authors on Mission, just I can't even count the amount of people I'm working with right now. So just be on the lookout for more and more books and content, just in general. And the more you check out our podcast and YouTube, the more that you will find out about those books. There's so many different ideas coming out every day. So you never know what you're going to learn and be inspired by picking up a new book and checking it out.
And we encourage everybody to do so as well. And who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
Oh man, my biggest influence. Well, probably one of my favorite authors or somebody like that too. But to be completely honest, my boyfriend has been a huge help with the business side of things, negotiating contracts, offering advice, helping me go from like this meek, shy girl to somebody who can, hold her ground on a podcast, for example. So I'd have to give him a shout out for sure.
Oh, that's a great idea as well. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
Oh, please just don't stay in one spot. As tempting as it is to, get home from your whole day of work and just sit down and watch Netflix all day. Don't just do that, right? Find something else to improve yourself and move along in your careers. Because I mean, if you learn anything from me, it's, that if you give it a shot, you can get anywhere in life and really build yourself up. So that's something I'm really happy about and would love everybody else to give it a try.
We want everybody to do the same as well, too. We're with the amazing Danielle Hutchinson of Authors on Mission here on the Mike Wagner Show. Danielle, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Learned a lot. Looking forward to having you soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Laugh at you back. And what's your website? How do people contact you? Where can people purchase or check out? Or I mean, where can people check out Authors on Mission podcast and more?
Yeah, again, please go to authorsonmission.com for more information. The podcast, you can head to Spotify, search Authors on Mission, same with Apple Podcasts and Facebook, Instagram, across the board, Authors on Mission.
We'll certainly check that as well. Once again, Danielle, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely amazing. Looking forward to having you soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Laugh have you back. We wish you all the best. And Danielle, you definitely have a great future ahead of you.
Thank you so much.